Hello, and welcome back to the Pretty Passionate Podcast, where you can sit back, relax, and join me to yap about the things you're passionate about. If you are just catching up and maybe you missed last episode, I want to remind you that we are diving into a new format in this sort of relaunch of the podcast after my big move. So I last recorded an episode about a reality roundup. This episode is really where I reach into my beauty guru plastic surgeon bag and we talk all things beauty, skincare, plastic surgery, pop culture related to those things, what's going on in social media, and topics of interest that might relate to some of what we're talking about. Okay, so this episode is going to be our very first Beauty Bites feature. Yay, I'm so excited. And we are going to be talking about a variety of topics. We're going to touch on Kristin Cavallari versus Sunscreen. We're going to also talk about beauty collabs that I am super excited about, two, actually, to be exact. And we are also going to get into the skinny on exosomes. That's right, because, as we get into the summer, we're going to move away, at least in my industry, people are moving away from the more invasive procedures that are going to give you downtime, you can wear garments and stuff like that. And now it's time for skincare focus. People have a misconception that you can't care for your skin during the summer months because every procedure requires you to cover your skin and protect your skin from the sun. But I've got news for you, babe. You need to cover your skin and protect it from the sun every single day of the year, which actually segues me beautifully into our first topic. Okay, so if you're not familiar, Kristin Cavallari, she is a star of the Hills fame, which was like a reality-based TV show on MTV. Huge hit. This was, I'm sure, before or maybe right at the beginning of the era of like Housewives and that Bravo reality TV dominance. This was when MTV was still putting out a bunch of reality TV shows that we were all hooked on. And The Hills catapulted the entire cast actually to fame, and Kristin Cavallari being among them. So she's got this loyal following for most of her adult life, and she's got a skincare line, as I understand it. And she put out a video that someone sent to me that I found like very disappointing. Now, in the video, I want to be clear because she also put out what I guess she thinks is supposed to be a clarifying video. So, in the video, I want to be clear. The message that she's giving is that she doesn't wear sunscreen every day. That's the baseline message. But then what she goes on to do, which I think is misleading and I think disinformation, she goes on to list all of these things that she uses in lieu of sunscreen because sunscreen is toxic or has toxicity. So I'll let you listen to a bit of this. First thing I want to actually mention is that she calls it her sun skincare. So right there, she is speaking of it as though it is a substitute for sunscreen when you talk about spending the day in the sun. I haven't heard her say yet, "I've had sunscreen all day while I was in the sun." Her little, edit video that she posted later, she's claimed that she's always said that when she goes out in the sun, she uses sunscreen, but very clearly here, she calls this sun care. And also of note, I guess she's on a beach trip right now. She's red as a lobster. I don't know if you can see this. I'm gonna maximize the screen when I hit play again. She's as red as can be. Sun care. Where's the sun care, sis? You look like a lobster straight out of Maine. You look like you belong in someone's bisque right now. This is skin damage that has happened to you in real time as you sit here and talk about your sun care.
Doing glutathione serum. I've told you guys 1,000 times. Glutathione is one of the most powerful antioxidants. I take it orally. I also use this 1 to 2 times a day. Oh, getting low. I need a new one. And it's really good for pigmentation, brightening, skin texture. It's also good for anti-aging. Oh no, I'm low. I'm low. And because I can, I literally come in here. Oh no, I'm out. I come in here and do my whole chest. Next up, this is a newer product, the Deep Hydration Serum. This is awesome because it's sort of like 2-in-1. There's bubbles in it. This is a really innovative, very cool technology. You put it on your skin and you rub it, you can quite literally feel the bubbles burst. So you're getting like 2 layers of the product. This, after you've been in the sun, is absolute heaven. I'm also gonna put it all over my chest. He uses my Koji pads. What else do you have? The water cream. The kids love Koji pads and water cream. Then we're gonna do water cream just for a little extra hydration. This is the best moisturizer I'm telling you, if you haven't tried it yet, you won't go back to another moisturizer. I promise you. It's almost.
So that's enough of that. Okay. She then at some point in the video, she adds that this is after sun care, but she has been known, this is why I'm actually talking about this right now, because she's been known in her podcast to have said, I don't wear sunscreen every day. So when you get on your massive platform as a person that people see and respect, and with a skincare brand that's doing well, and you're shilling product, I think it's important to point out that when you go out in the sun, the only thing that you need to worry about is sunscreen. The most important thing you can put on your skin when you are about to be exposed to UV rays is sunscreen. I just don't feel like she is doing a good enough job of making it clear, especially if you read her comments, okay? Because a lot of people are like, oh, wait till the sunscreen warriors get a load of this. Sunscreen warrior, me right here with all of the melanin that God gave me. I am a sunscreen warrior. Yes, because Black people can also get skin cancer too. We need to be careful. I mean, everybody with a microphone, a platform, a voice, and who's talking to people, and be very, very clear. Okay. There are too many people needlessly dying from the complications of skin cancer that for us to be anything but ultra careful with the messaging about skin care for exposure to sun. You want to talk about what you do afterwards? That's fine. But from somebody who stresses that they do not wear sunscreen every day, I don't know that you are the best person to talk about sun care at all. Because what you're dealing with, my dear, is a sunburn. When you don't wear it every day, you're fair, you're light, you have blonde hair, you're the exact person who should be wearing it every single day before you step out. You should be wearing actually a hat and physical barriers to protect yourself, sitting under an umbrella, and really aggressively protecting yourself from the sun. And instead, what we get is, looking rather red, which to me indicates she's telling the truth that she doesn't wear sunscreen every day. Okay. And I don't want to invite a debate. I'm a board certified plastic surgeon. I've done skin cancer reconstruction, working with Mohs surgeons, dermatologists for years, and I see the devastating effects and I help fix them. So I'm not going to have a debate with anyone about the value of sunscreen for protecting people from the sun. But what I will do is share with you a video that I made last summer, actually last July on TikTok, explaining the difference between mineral sunscreen and synthetic sunscreen. People have a problem with synthetic sunscreens because they think of them as they're toxic, they're toxins, but I do a better job of explaining this in the video. But when I think of zinc oxide, titanium dioxide, we're thinking, that surfer dude that you see with the white stuff on their nose, that's that zinc oxide. It's like a more pasty, minerally finish, and it's providing a physical barrier or physical protection from the UV rays. Now, the other side of sunscreen is called chemical or synthetic sunscreen. And that's when you're going to see the oxybenzone, avobenzone, octinoxate in your ingredients in the back in the sunscreen. Now, those sunscreens are not providing a physical barrier between you and the UV rays. They are instead providing a chemical barrier by absorbing the UV rays, not allowing them to get into your skin, and they release it as heat. So it's a chemical thing happening. And since they don't have the titanium dioxide or the zinc oxide, those are the sunscreens that are going to look better on Black skin because they don't give that white pasty cast. The big user difference when it comes to using this kind of sunscreen is that you definitely need to make sure that you are applying it 20 to 30 minutes before you go outside to give that barrier time to get in place and get ready to protect your skin. If you're wondering which is better for you, just understand that if you are a darker skinned person or a Black person, then the titanium dioxide and the zinc oxide are going to create more of a white appearance on your skin. And if that's not important to you and you have some handy, I'd rather you use that than not use any at all. The reason why I shared those three types of my so you get the point, right? Because I was like gonna re-explain it, and I was like, oh wait, I did this already last year. But the point is that sunscreen is a necessity. It's not an option. And as our ozone, which has been damaged already, we know this. This is again just science, has depleted in its ability to protect us from the damage of UV rays. It's even more important that the messaging on sunscreen is clear. It's not optional. SPF 50 or higher every day. Yeah, even days that you're not going to the beach, days that you're just taking the dog out to the corner, you need sunscreen on. I mean, If you don't want to wear sunscreen to protect yourself from skin cancer, then I would urge you to wear sunscreen for vain reasons, such as avoiding dark spots, hyperpigmentation, melasma, all things that can be worsened or caused by not protecting your skin from the sun. And then you end up having to spend extra on beauty treatments to correct all of that stuff. So that's my very strong rebuke of any messaging that there is an antioxidant, a vitamin, juices and berries of any kind that can protect you adequately from the sun. No, no, no. It's sunscreen, SPF 50 or higher, and you can go with a mineral sunscreen or you can go with a synthetic sunscreen. Dealer's choice on that. No need to debate. Pick which one works best for you, but wear some, please. Okay. On to beauty collabs that I am thrilled to talk about. Okay. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm extra blushy today, and this will probably be my condition for the remainder of the summer. And that is because I got a chance to finally try out the blushes that I received over the weekend from the MAC Olandria Painted by Esther collab. That was no question a direct clap back to the whole Patrick Ta blush debacle in which most of the makeup community got behind Painted by Esther, understanding her point that no, she did not say that she created a blush technique. It's that actually she just honed and perfected it and kind of personalized it. There is a key to the way that she does it that is different from the way that people who swear, oh, I've been doing this since 2016 have done it and are doing it. And there's nothing wrong with anybody's method. And Painted by Esther, I should add, was very, very, very clear to pay homage to Kevin Aucoin, whose makeup Bible so many of us learned from about how to place blush, about how to do our makeup. Okay. So on to the collab. If you hadn't seen the media for it, it was a release of these gorgeous images, which is the gloss bussin'. And our girl Olandria, I mean, just serving that flawless, gorgeous face with her high cheekbones and her features that I'm sure are a makeup artist's dream with the cheek so flawlessly blended. Look how beautifully that's blended. Okay. So the shades that are featured in this collection include three. Okay. You got your Candy Yum Yum. I have that right here. Okay. And that's supposed to kind of go in the middle. And then you've got your Snob, which is supposed to be in that transition zone, kind of blending with your under eye area. And last but not leastest, you have La La Lavender, which is considered a way to kind of create a little highlight in the cheekbone area and bring out the purpliness of the Candy Yum Yum. So that's them together. And you can just see the color melding that, just goes with this collection. Purples and pinks it's just a color combo that works so well together. So I tried it on my face. I don't have Olandria's face, nor do I have Painted by Esther's technique all the way 100% down. For example, like you try to remember when you're supposed to use the powder puff versus not. And I'll tell you, those things make a huge difference in how seamless the finish ends up. So I'm not going to claim that I followed her method to the letter, but I did follow a lot of her pointers and preferences for placement. And this is the result for me. I rather like it. I did a lip combo actually using Snob lipstick, which has been a favorite of mine and all the girlies who have been Met girlies since the 90s for like forever. Okay. The lip combo is Snob, Night Moth, and Narcissus. Those are all been around the block. I also saw that they had the heroin blush, and I got that too because it's a very pinky purple heroin. It's a perfect, like, purpley magenta, like such a nice shade. I remember when the lipstick was first released years ago, that drop was like, run and get it. The heroin lipstick and lip pencil is one of my faves. Or if I wanted to make it a little bit deeper, I would go with something like Night Moth or what was the other one? There was another one, but there's so many ways. I love MAC lipsticks. I love MAC lip pencil. To me, they're far superior lip pencils than like most other brands. I've tried a lot of other brands and I always come back to MAC pencils because they are just exactly the right amount of like stiffness and that you can drag them across your skin and they're not breaking. I would get so much value out of my MAC pencils. Current, that's the other one. Current, Currant is the other lip pencil that I had for years. It just went so beautiful with those pink purple shades. And you can play up the dark, you can play up the light, and make all MAC lipsticks work on literally all skin types. Because when you initially swatch Snob, you might go, that's a little light for me as a chocolate girl, but here it is. Here it is with the right pencil. And if you want to play with overgloss, you can make any shade of MAC lipstick work for just about anybody. Chestnut's another favorite. I don't know why I'm doing a whole review on MAC as a cosmetics brand in general. They don't need my help, but I did appreciate, like I said, them jumping behind Esther to collaborate on this and help her release something in her name, owning her technique. Because again, Esther's not like, hey, I just created this blush for MAC. She's saying, this is how I use these colors to create this look. I could have all the tools that Esther has, but I don't have her hand. And so I won't be able to just automatically recreate what she does and call it my own. So that's the artistry part I think people were missing in the discussion a little bit, among other things. So there's that. And then, okay, I have not been a Rhode girly. I have a couple products from them that I really like. I love their package presentation, to be honest. And that's probably what drew me to them in Sephora. So I think I have like one or two of their blushes, their cream blushes. But they have for their spring summer release collaborated with one of my favorite beauty creators on Instagram, Gloria, who I talked about last episode or 2 episodes ago with her chiming in about skin inclusivity. I talked about how she was doing a really, really interesting series about beauty brands that were releasing entire lines that did not include shades for people in her deep, dark skin shade. As someone who possesses a dark skin shade, I love her advocacy for those of us who are often left out of the skin color spectrum when it comes to beauty brands, especially major beauty brands. And so, Rhode being a super smart, clearly marketing and social media savvy brand as they are, went ahead and partnered with your girl. I just love it. I love to see Black beauty creators getting their flowers. They went ahead and partnered with Gloria and created the shade range. Now, again, she didn't create these bronzers for them, but they worked with her to create a shade range for their pocket bronzer, their highlight milk, and their peptide lip tint that works for the chocolatiest of chocolate girlies. I love it, love it, love it. Congratulations to her. I have previewed what it looks like online. I cannot wait to have this in my collection, all of the shades that are appropriate for me, so I can glow all summer. I'm excited. I'm so excited about the highlight milk because I see where I can easily incorporate that into my skin prep to enhance glow. Other brands that I think are doing a great job of glowy, dewy summer products. Danessa Myricks has her Radiant Yummy Skin prep product that in lieu of the matte one, which does incredible mattifying if you've not tried it. I love it in my T-zone. But I love the Radiant Prep because it has a little bit of a sparkle to it, that a non-ashy sparkle that helps bring out the glow in your product. So I love products like that that help you start off with a glowier finish than trying to add glitter and shine and highlight at the end. I also love, like the portability of Rhode. So now that they've expanded their color collection in this way, I'm considering I love their little travel bags, I love their pocket brush, I love their little phone case with the peptide, the little lip gloss holder. I'm considering because, I'm a two-city girl now. I'm living in Palm Beach and working in Palm Beach, and I'm living in Atlanta and working in Atlanta with my new practice, Row Plastic Surgery. So your girl is back and forth. And that means that I have to have a very, very, very travel-friendly makeup bag and boil it down to really portable items that are not easily damaged. And I don't know about you, but nothing upsets me more than opening up my travel case and seeing that one of my favorite blushes or one of my favorite bronzers has cracked and broken. So I'm kind of moving away from powders for travel stuff. So I love with products like Danessa Myricks and products like Rhode, where everything is cream and in a stick. And so very, very, very portable, something you can travel with all day, have it in your purse, have it in your little daily beauty pouch that I have, and it's not going to crack and create a mess in your bag because I have my little Louis Vuitton makeup case that I like to travel with. And I mean, I don't want it to get dirty in there. So yeah, I'm thinking of doing a full replacement of the travel essentials with the road collection. I will keep you posted. I've already said it, it's happening. So that's it on the collabs. Okay. And last but not leastest for today's Beauty Bites episode, I want to talk about exosomes. Yes, it's that time of year where we put away our scalpels. I mean, not me. I'm doing surgery year round, but mentally, people put away their thoughts of scalpels and focus on how they achieve glowy, beautiful skin. Three procedures that I absolutely love for achieving the best skin of your life. Okay. I'm going to stand on this forever because they just work. Okay. Microneedling, whether you are talking about radio frequency microneedling, which serves a different purpose, tightens up the skin, increases that deeper collagen production to resolve loose skin all over the body and the face. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about even just like basic B microneedling is what I call it. That is with something like a derma pen or a skin pen by an esthetician or a medical provider. And that's a scar treatment protocol that I'm not recommending for you for your daily skin needs. Okay. So, but just understand there is a difference between the two. I digress. So, medical grade microneedling, Moxie laser resurfacing. Have you ever? Oh my gosh. What a wonderful way to reveal fresh skin with minimal downtime. I'm a fan of the CO2 laser. Don't get me wrong. I love Fraxel and what it can do, especially for a lower Fitzpatrick skin type. My goodness, it's such a good refresher for the skin, can like erase years of fine lines, aging. I love it for my fairer skin girlies. But for that same skin type, I will tell you, even Fraxel, there's still downtime. You're still gonna need a week or 2 to really completely heal from CO2 laser, get rid of that red kinda beefy appearance. But with Moxie, maybe like a weekend where you look not even like serious downtime, you look like maybe you got a little sunburn, and you're just moisturizing your way through it, and come Monday, your skin is already seeing the effects. I mean, these are things that people should be knowing more about and doing because the downtime is so minimal and the benefits are so, so high when it comes to keeping your skin looking supple, refreshed, fine line free. There's no stringent, crazy long requirement to like be a vampire and stay completely away from the sun. As we mentioned at the top of the episode, I'm always going to tell you to wear SPF 50 or higher, no matter what. If it's a cloudy day, if it's a winter day, if it's a day that you are going to be inside all day, but there's windows. I wear SPF 50 every single day. It's the final layer after I've finished applying my moisturizer and products for the daytime. At night, of course, I don't wear SPF 50. That's where you do corrective skincare, moisturizing, and that's what I focus on at night. But every single day, there should be a sunscreen product going on your face. Even more so after you've had one of those 3 treatments, right? You're going to continue with the same sun care. And actually, I could add a 4th to that list of things we can do to just keep our skin glowing, okay? But it does require a little bit of downtime, and that's the VI peel. If you haven't heard of it, Vitality Institute, VI peel. Great, great peel for everyone, actually. It's universal, excellent for women of color. I love this peel because it is not going to disrupt your skin color. In other words, it's not going to be like a peel where it could potentially change your skin color, create white spots on your face that take, months and months to resolve or maybe don't resolve at all. It's a gentle peel, but that doesn't take away from its effectiveness. That means you have to do it more than once. Okay, let's say in a series of like 3 or 4 peels to achieve a final result. But the final result can be quite dramatic. They make kinds that address acne, that address aging and hyperpigmentation or PIH, post inflammatory hyperpigmentation that women of color we get with our pimples. Even when we're really good and we don't pick them, we still can get a little ring of color for our pimples. Yeah, I just love a good VI peel. If I have about 3 to 5 days where I don't really need to be in front of a camera or going somewhere, which is not often for me, but I find the time. Best believe I do a VI peel anytime I know that I've got a stretch of 3 to 5 days that I don't have to worry about being peely. The peel that occurs with a VI peel is not like a hideous peel. Treat yourself to one of those 4, or how about all 4? With the advice of a skincare expert near you who can tell you how you can incorporate literally all 4 of those things to have the best skin of your life. Okay, so I set that stage to talk about exosomes because exosomes are topicals that can be applied after any one of those treatments to enhance the outcome of that treatment, to speed up recovery, reduce inflammation, and make the outcome of those treatments even better. So, what I'm saying, exosomes enhances the result. Slathering on daily exosomes in the products, I have no problem with that. I'm just really focused on how they can help boost collagen, elastin, and speed up your recovery, enhance your results. What are exosomes? They are microscopic messengers that are released by cells that carry proteins or growth factors and genetic materials. There are a couple of kinds. There are platelet derived, meaning that they come from human platelets, platelet derived growth factors. And those are, again, messengers that are telling your skin to boost collagen and elastin. They are signaling cells that the skin needs to firm up, improving the way that your skin looks, boosting elasticity and bounciness. They're reducing inflammation, which we know is going to help with healing after a procedure like microneedling. We're going to need something to take down that inflammation and to speed up that turnaround. With exosomes, these things are like 2 to 3 days of rough looking redness, and then you're back in business. Okay. So, yeah, accelerates healing. I beat myself on my own point. And then overall improves tone and texture over time, smoothing out rough spots, fading hyperpigmentation, fine lines, potentiating the results of all that good stuff that you're doing already. Okay. So they're not FDA approved because a lot of skincare is not FDA approved. And this is not something we are injecting, except that we can be stamping it deeper into the skin by way of microneedling. So it's topical serums that you can use to apply. There's ones that you can use at home that allow the exosomes to go into your skin with your daily skincare regimen to over time improve your skin regeneration, skin texture, tone, elasticity. And with these products, I will caution you that not all products are created equal. So just be mindful of who's recommending. Okay. And then for the in office procedures, we apply these immediately after microneedling or laser treatments for all the reasons I mentioned. And the micro channels in your skin that are created by these procedures allows a better penetration of the exosomes to get to that deeper level and result in stronger results and more effective regeneration in your skin. So I did mention platelet derived exosomes or platelet derived growth factors. And then there's plant and algae derived, but I think they can also be less powerful. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with plant exosomes, but they're probably not as powerful as the human cell derived ones. And so their results are going to be slower and more cumulative in their regenerative effect. Because overall, I get people asking me about exosomes. Is this a must? Is this a something? Is it a gimmick? Is it something that they can ignore? Is it something they should add to their routine? My overall opinion is absolutely yes. This is something that your beauty professional should already be incorporating in your routine, especially if you're getting any of those aforementioned treatments. Exosomes should already be on the table and already be part of the discussion. If not, ask about them. Maybe they're offering them, but they haven't quite offered them to you yet. At the end of the day, beauty costs. There's a lot of stuff you can do at home. There's a lot of stuff you can DIY. There's a lot of masks and great, Korean skincare out there. I'm not hating on that, but there is nothing like the power of some of these medical grade in-office beauty treatments and the additives that go along with them for not only correcting skincare issues, but maintaining your skin over time. Because the goal is to it's not that you don't want to age at all, but we want to age in the best way that we possibly can. So by the time that I'm in my 50s and 60s, I don't necessarily want to look like it. So that's the cheat code. And then there was one final topic that I wanted to cover with you. Literally, I'm going to take 2 minutes to talk about this. It's a thing that I noticed on Instagram, TikTok. People have been weighing in on regarding two sets of creators that have popped up in recent days and have gained massive popularity, massive following, huge following that is rapidly growing as people become more and more aware of their brand. Okay, so starting in New York, where so many things start, I'm not gonna lie. Um, The 4 and the 5 is a group of girls who are living life out loud on social media in the 5 boroughs of New York City. They are chronicling their lives, be it fashion, food, fun with friends, girls' nights out, date night, whatever it is that is pertinent to their life. And each of them has their own separate Instagram, their own separate social media presence and handles that they're using. But they come together for the four and the five to kind of potentiate their growth and create a very eye catching, interesting page focused on their exploits across the five boroughs. Got it? Okay. And then the second group is called Four, FOUR, the girls. Now they have pretty much created a brand, and I pray that this has all been trademarked. They've pretty much created a brand like where they review things in places and share experiences and they say, is this for FOUR the girls? I think that's so clever, like for the girls. Okay. So they're at about 13,000 followers as a collective on their FOUR. It's actually the number four, THEGIRLSATL. So for the girls. And the other group is the four and the five, and that's in New York. There has been some, I don't want to say hot debate, but there's been some warm debate about did these For the Girls chicks in Atlanta basically steal the idea of the four and the five? Okay. I think an argument can be made that, yeah, they kind of borrowed the idea and created something very similar. It's four black girls in a big city in the United States. Doing their thing, going out, having experiences, drawing on the collective power of all four of them together. It's very similar. And I would say that, yeah, it's not unfair to say that the For the girls in Atlanta were inspired by the four and the five in New York and created their own. I think you'd be kind of delulu to be like, oh, no, it just happened that they just so happened to, after these girls, come up with the same concept. However, am I hot about it? No. And y'all know I am an intellectual property hawk. I don't like copycats, but in this particular situation, I'm not 100% mad because all I see when I look at both of these pages is black girls winning. And I don't know how the four and the five feel about it. Maybe I will come across that information now that my phone hears me talking about it. Maybe I'll come across a post or two explaining that they are actually rather displeased. But I just see it as black girls winning. I see it as young, beautiful black women taking content creation to another level by collaboration. That's a beautiful thing. At least I can't interpret that as anything but a beautiful thing. I love the idea. I love the passion. I love to see us working together and as a collective that we're stronger than when we each individually try to build our own thing. And they still have their own things. That's the beauty of this is that they are not melding into one and then divorcing from their prior identities. All of these girls still maintain and run their own individual pages and they're introduced on the collaborative page. And it's a lot of fun. And my response to their existence is that I want to see one of these in Miami, Palm Beach. Like, I want to see one of these somewhere in Florida. I want to see one of these in DC. Ooh, I definitely wanna see one of these in, like, Dallas, Houston, in Los Angeles, in Chicago, in Detroit. I wanna see one in every poppin' city in the United States where four black girls who've really got their social media game together are on the rise, taking content creation seriously, then join forces like the Justice League of black girl content creation and make something beautiful. What is wrong with that? Nothing in my book. So, if anybody's in Palm Beach and wants me to join their group, I'm probably out of the age group, honestly, that these girls are in. I think they're in their 20s, maybe early 30s. They're younger than me, but you know what? Like, why don't we make our own for our own group in the 40s? I'm not going to give you the name idea that I just came up with because I know how intellectual property works, but maybe I'll come up with my own stuff. The content is by nature going to be totally different because they're not in the same city. So I think this is okay. I think it would be super corny and infringy for someone to go ahead and try to create a four girl group of black girls in New York City and play on words to come up with something else and do this similar idea. I think that's a little whack. And that would be something that might invite some criticism, justifiably so. But yeah, doing it in every city, the name doesn't apply to every city, right? Four and the five doesn't apply to Atlanta. Four and the five doesn't apply to Miami. So it's not a brand name by nature that can bounce from one city to the other. I'll tell you what though, For the Girls can. I don't know, maybe they're already working on it. For the Girls Miami, For the Girls whatever. That's a brand name that can translate to any city. So, yeah, I say good on them. Black Girls winning. Black Girls getting that content creation money by working together is music to my ears, and I invite that and I want it every time. Okay, so that is our episode for today, folks. Our little beauty bites. Send in your questions, your comments, your feelings on the new format so far, please. And thank you and be kind. I'm trying to always do better with my content creation and grow as a creator. And I welcome your constructive feedback. I don't call it criticism because I don't welcome your criticism. I welcome your constructive feedback. And also, I do really encourage you to like, subscribe, follow, and share the podcast with anyone you know who might be interested in any parts of what I talk about on a regular basis. You know, somebody who wants to hear a elder millennial black girl yap about all this stuff she's passionate about, send them a link, allow them to tune in. We are in video on YouTube at the Pretty Passionate Podcast and on every single platform where you listen to your podcasts. Okay. Until next time, thank you. Bye bye.